I thought I would give you just a glimpse as to how I plan for the upcoming school year. So this is some of the curriculum that we will be using for next year for my third grader. So we have our science, we have some language arts. I still haven't got in the vocabulary. We have the beginning of our math, and then our history, which I bought it as a PDF, and I've only printed out just the first unit. It's 300 and something pages, so I'm only printing out the first unit to see if we like it, instead of printing out 300 and something pages and then not liking it and wasting all that ink and paper. So, I may be missing something, but I think that's the gist of it. Science, language arts, math, and history. Oh, reading, they just read on their own. And, yeah. Okay. So, some of you may have seen my video that I done over this homeschool planning pack that I made. For those of you that don't know about it, this is how thick it is. It's a total of like 121 pages. That includes the cover, so 120 pages that are usable. Half of that, 60 pages, are in black and white, and the other 60 are in color. And this is all, I printed out mine just for a sample to show people, but this one's all in color. But anyway, so through here it shows you every single, the table of contents, and it covers curriculum planning, school year planning, lesson planning, and it has records and logs. It has some extra stuff and then some bonuses. But anyway, so like I said, this is just my sample here. I do not use this one, that's a sample. But this one, you can see how thick it is. And my pages here, I just went through and I printed out the pages that I use, and I had it bound. So this will be my planner for next year, for 2016 through 2017, for my third and my sixth grader for next year. And you can see I didn't want to waste the ink and print out all that color, so I just printed out the very first divider page. Okay? So, alright. And yes, our homeschool name is Preserving the Faith Academy. That's what it's been since 2009. Alright, and we have our mission statement. And you have the meaning of our symbol and the definition of academy. That's why kind of tells you why we chose our name. And there's our symbol that I made. Alright, you have some scripture verse about homeschooling. And the first section is our Blessed Homeschool Curriculum Planner. Alright, so we have a do and learn section. Okay, so this is for my sixth grader. I am not done planning at all. I'm not even done with this page. I did write on most of the planning pages, but I'm not done. So this is just like a quick little thing. So I made a list of things I want her to learn about. As always, I want them to have life skills and survival skills. I asked her what she wants to learn about. She wants to learn about pioneer life and the Indian way of life, especially the Cherokee and the solar system. I made a list of things that we have to cover because of state laws, and they require you to cover reading, math, language, arts, science, and history. I made a list of things that she wants, as like projects that she wants to do, and she wants to make an Cherokee Indian teepee and make moccasins. And some notes here. She wants hands-on math. This is for my sixth grader. That's my third grader stuff. And here's my third grader, which I should probably, oh well, anyway, that's the third graders. This page is just like potential school material. While I was planning school for next year, I wrote down just things I found that I thought I might like to use, like, so the G and W is grammar and writing. I was interested in Bob Jones English, and I ended up buying it for third grader and my sixth grader. that's just how this stuff is, and have the price list here. Now in my planner that's for sale, this also comes in a portrait form, portrait or landscape. And a wish list. And this is our school year planning pages, but the curriculum planning pages in my thing for sale, there are a lot more pages, but I've been using this setup for 2 years now, I guess, so I just pick out the pages that I need, but there are a lot more offered. Okay, so planning the school year. Here is a little grid of the months starting from July and ending at June. And I just wrote down things I know for sure that we will be committed to or have come up during those months. I still need to go through here and write down, I can't think of it now, write down community events. Like there's fall festivals, there's Labor Day parades, things like that, many different things. So I still need to look all those up and fill those in. And this is our calendar. I get this printed off at timeanddate.com. To get one to look exactly how you want it, which this is exactly how I wanted it to look, it takes a little bit of time, and you kind of have to figure out the website, that you have to go into like advanced custom calendar maybe, I don't know, but you can actually, like you can see here that our school day is going to start on August 8th, so that week will be our first week of school, so I can actually choose what day I want the first week to begin. So I can just randomly go through here and be like, oh, December 18th or 19th, that's our 20th week of school. And you can choose what colors you want the weekends to be and the holidays and things like that. And this is basically how I want our school to be. I want our school to start on August 8th, and then I definitely want to end no later than April 28th. We usually get done before that. Like it's April 11th right now, and we're already done with school. But so that's my end date. And then from this part, from the page before, like on the 28th of September, that's a birthday. And then you have Christmas and Thanksgiving. So I just marked off the dates that those days fall on, and that we will not be doing school. And then I added up all those days. I had a total of 38 weeks prior to taking off. It gives me 190 days. I took off 11 days, so I have 179 school days, which I rounded up to about 36 weeks of school. And on this planned school hours, I don't know if you can see this or not, all this is written in pencil, so hopefully you can see it. But on planned school hours, it says total number of school weeks, and I put 36 for the core and the non-core. And then this is where I actually started the planning. I go to my third graders. Okay, since I have her books laid out, here's my third graders. So she has the 36 weeks also. So for math, what I done is we're using Singapore math, and I went through the Home Instructor's Guide here, and this is like a weekly schedule. So here's what they expect you to do in week 1, week 2 you should do this stuff, and so on. And they have 18 weeks, so I am assuming that after we do this one, when we move to 3A, that it will also have 18 weeks, which will be 36 weeks. And so I'm figuring about 172 lessons, and then when I divide that, I actually need to do like 4.8 lessons a week, but I just rounded it up to 5 lessons a week. We're going to work for do 5 lessons a week each day, so we're going to work on math 5 days a week. And in my state, we have to keep track of the hours, of how many hours we have, we have to have a minimum of 600 hours for core and a total of 1,000 hours, but 600 of them have to be in core. So, and your cores would be your math, history, science, reading, and language arts. Yes. And then, so anyway, so she'll end up having 180 hours in math, and then I just done that with each of the subjects. So for history, I looked through here, and I've not got this bound yet, but I added up all these lessons, so each section has 5 lessons, okay, and I added all those up, and that gives us 75 lessons to do in 36 weeks for chapters. So we're going to do 1 to 2 a week, and we're going to work on it for 2 days a week. So that gives me about 72 hours a year for that. And I've just done the same thing for each subject. Okay, so the way I figure it, she should have 787 hours in core, and the requirement is only 600. So if by chance we don't, you can see I have 187 hours additional planned, so we should, easily get over 600, and we always do. This section here that I have bracketed off is for English, vocabulary, literature study, and spelling. Those 4 fall under the umbrella of language arts, so I just section those hours off, and then those hours total 337. Anyway, and I've done the same thing for the non-core, and we have a total of 1,111 hours that are planned for school. Okay. Next thing I wanted to show you was, this is for my 6th grader. My 3rd grader has one too, but I'm not done with it. This is her yearly pacing guide for only one subject for history. Now in my planner thing, it looks the exact same. You can choose to have it just for one subject or for like the actual school year, to where each box is a week and there's enough for 40 weeks. So I prefer just the per subject. So I just went through her history book, which she's doing Rebecca grade 6 history next year. So I just went through the history book, and the first week I went to work on chapter 1, the first Americans. I looked through there, and I also want to study the Ice Age and watch a video and read a book by Ken Ham over the Ice Age, and to label the 3 Americas. That'd be in week 1, and I just went through the book and picked out, and this is a week we're not doing school, so I just went through and picked out, just wrote down week by week kind of where I want to be as an overview in history. And this would be my 3rd graders. And then you can move on to the lesson plan. Okay, so this page, once again, it's written in pencil, so I hope you can see it. And I'm not done with this page either. This is just, the reason it's in pencil is because this is just, it's just my ideas right now. I haven't talked it over with my kids yet. But I was thinking about in August to study the Native Americans. And if you remember, she wants to learn more about the Indians. So here are some books we're going to read, some crafts to make. And I don't have a theme. I mean, another theme I want to do another time is over the military, but I'm not sure what month to do or what activities to do. And then I think I'd also like to do world religions. This is a page for the resources needed. This is a page for a material shopping list for any crafts, projects, activities, experiments, anything that you would need. You write down what you need, when you need it, by, and who needs it, which child needs it. If it's a craft project, activity, or experiment, the name of it, like if it's Science Chapter 1, making a water wheel or something, you would need to write that down, where to buy it and how much it costs. And this is just a summer break activity for my 6th grader. I wrote it down for July. This will be for the upcoming year, this coming July, because our school year starts in July 1st, and ends June 30th. So anything we might do during the month of June that's, can relate to a subject, I write that down, and then that's added into our hours. But our actual book work does not start until August. So, and this one would be for my 3rd grader. Sorry, I'm having trouble talking this morning. And these are my weekly lesson plans. I just love these things. Okay, so you can see that there are a lot of them, and they're all blank. There are actually 80 in here. I have 40 for each child, so 40 weeks for each child. And in my video over this, I show you one that's filled out and how it works. But you just put down the name of the child, the school year, the quarter, or the semester, what week it is, and there's a couple lines here if you want to put like a memory verse or a poem or a quote, something they're trying to memorize for that week. And then there's a small reading section. The reason it's small is, well, I use the small one, but in here I give you the option to print out, the big blocks or a small block for one subject. Okay, so in my planner thing, let me show you again. Okay, you can see how these are all unlabeled. It doesn't say reading, Bible, math. I left them unlabeled because everyone may have different subjects. But since I made these, I could customize them for myself. So I chose to make a little box for reading. And I actually have a reading log where I write down the name of the book they read and who wrote it and how many pages it had and things like that. So on this, I just write down the words on log, and then in this box I'll just write down how long it took them to read that book, or how much time they read for that day. And then here I write down our Bible lesson, our math lesson, and there are 3 boxes. The top box you check off if you've done that lesson. The middle box you put down how much time you spent on that lesson, and the 3rd box, if that lesson was graded, is where you would put the grade. And then you would add up how many hours. So if you've done math every single day for 5 days, and if this was the first week, then you would put down 5 hours. If you spent an hour in math each day, so you put down 5 hours. And if any lessons were graded, like if your child had made 100 on Monday and a 90 on Thursday, you would add those 2 up, which would be 190, and you'd put 190, and you'd put a division bar over 2, because you'd have 2 assignments. And then by doing that, at any given time, you can just divide those 2 numbers, like 190 divided by 2, and then automatically figure the child's current grade. And so this would be the first page, and then the back goes on, for me, to the non-core subjects. And then I have a section here for the weekend, for Saturday and Sunday. And this is where you would total up any core hours and non-core hours, which includes hours on the weekend. And I made that for us because, which it's on here too, for you to purchase, but I just created this sheet because prior to this sheet, I had a sheet for the lessons, I had one for the hours, and I had one for the grades, and had those for each child. So I had a total of 6 pages each week to contend with, and now I just have 2 pages a week to contend with. And I just, like I said, I've been using this for 2 years, and I just love it. It's exactly what I needed. Took many trials and errors to get here, but okay. So that's the lesson planning section. Then you have the records and logs section, Alright, and this is for my 6th grader. This is a list of subjects taught. Now, this, let me show you, because I actually did make a form for you to use to list the subjects taught, and I did print it out for myself too, but I just recently, okay, this is the records and logs section, but just recently, okay, I decided I wanted to type it up in list form like this, so I actually, when I printed that out, I actually taped it on top of the what I offer in the book, the list of subjects taught. But this is what the sheet looks like underneath this one. So it's a list of subjects taught, and you would write your main subject, like math, science, history, reading, language arts, and so on. Like for science, for example, then you'd have sub-subjects if you were learning anything additional, like if you were doing unit studies. You might write chemistry, botany, dinosaurs, physics, things like that. For language arts, since the state I live in, they consider vocabulary, spelling, English, grammar, writing, and so many others to be language arts. So I'd write language arts, and then I would write spelling, vocabulary, English, whatever else would be there. Okay. But this is how I decided. I just wanted to list it like this. So Bible, we'll be doing our Bible curriculum lessons, our scripture memorization, character studies, and more. Then in math, my 6th grader, these are the topics that she'll be learning about. In science, we'll be studying creation, the solar system, planet Earth, amphibians, just, all this stuff right here. And in history, these are the topics that she will be learning about. I don't know if you might consider this a scope and sequence, I'm not sure. But I just went through her history book in the table of contents, and I just typed up everything that it says that they'll be learning about. And for language arts, she's actually not going to be doing spelling this year. She will be in 6th grade, and she's already finished the 6th grade spelling book this year. So, anyway, she's just not going to be doing spelling next year. So I think we're done with spelling. So she'll be doing typing still, vocabulary, grammar, writing, computer stuff, proofreading and editing skills, reading comprehension, and literature studies. And then for reading, this is what she'll be doing. And then here's our non-core stuff. And here's what I have for my 3rd grader. Same layout, just a few different, details here. And this is the bibliography for my 6th grader. What this is, it is a list of resources that are used. And again, I had a sheet made up in my book here in my planner to use, and this is what it looks like. You would just write in a subject, like language arts, and you would just write down all the items that you used. Like if you had math, you'd write, in my case, we're using Bob Jones, so I'd write math, Bob Jones, math 6, what is it, 3rd edition, I think. I write down 3rd edition, and, information like that, and any notes, if I had any. But when I started writing that, I don't know, I just liked the list form better. So once again, I made a list form, and then I taped it over the sheet I just showed you in there. So these are the materials we're going to be using for our Bible, and we'll do Bible daily. This is what we will be using for math daily. Science, we'll be doing science on a weekly basis, and this will be our science curriculum materials. Same way with history, reading, and the ones I underlined and capitalized, these are our core that we have to do, but you'll see down here, reading comprehension will be weekly. That's like a sub-subject of reading, for me, in my opinion. And then language arts will be every day. Typing will be every day, which is a sub-subject of language arts. Vocabulary is weekly. This is what I plan on using, and it falls under language arts. English grammar, we're using Bob Jones. It'll be daily, and it falls under language arts as well. Literature studies. Then you have the non-core activities. Okay. Next, this is where I keep track of their weekly hour log. This is for my 6th grader, and again it's in pencil, so hopefully you can see it. But it has 40 places here for 40 weeks. You can see I wrote down to 39 because July I'm just going, since we don't actually start the bookwork until week 1, which is like the 2nd week in August, I think. August 8th, I believe, is when we're starting school. So for July, any core hours we do in July will go here, any non-core hours will go here, and any core hours that we do away will go here. And then this is just, it's like a running total method. So for week, if we had any, like let's say we had 10 core hours for the whole month of July. Well, on week 1, I would put the dates here. I'd put like August 8th through August, I don't know, 15th maybe. And then that would be for week 1. If in week 1, if we done 20 hours during that week, well, if I had 10 in July, and then I done 20 in week 1, now my total would be 30. And then it would just keep adding on down the line. This is for my 3rd grader. And this is a sheet for the year-end hour totals. Like I said in the video over my planner, you don't have to use every single sheet. I tried to include several different sheets for all different things that people might need. And also, like I said, in my state we have to keep track of the hours. So I like having everything orderly. So this will be after school is over. Once next school year is completed, I will write down how many hours we actually got in math and language and science and history and so on, and then how many we got in non-core. And I'll write down that total for core and non-core. And how many is legally required? 600. How many is legally required for non-core? It actually doesn't have to be 400. We just have to have a total of 1,000 total, but at least 600 have to be in the 5 main subjects. So these tan boxes go with this tan box, and these 2 purple boxes go with this one, and the blue one goes with this one. So they're labeled as total hours, legally required hours, and then how many hours I planned, which I got from the beginning, from the planning. And then the total combined hours, the legally required combined hours, and the planned combined hours. Okay, and I have one of those for each of my children. And this is just a report card where I will keep, their grades and stuff. Alright. And then the last page of the stuff I printed out is just a basic notes page. So that is what I chose to print out and to use for my planner for next year. And I got these tabs and sectioned them off: curriculum planning, school year planning, lesson planning, and then records and logs. So that is that one. But like I said, there are many additional pages that I offer in my thing. Now, like, I also offer a memorization log, and you did not see that in here. It's because the memorization log and the reading log, this is a portrait one, and I also offer landscape, which is what we use. So the memorization log, the reading log, the field trip log are stuff, it's stuff that once it's completed, it's going to go in the end of the school year portfolios for my children. because I think that's something, you know, that they would like to look back on. This is basically only consists of my proof that I have homeschooled them, you know, in case I'm ever taken to court. I have it all right here, and I don't have any additional information that they don't really need to know about. So, but anyway, if you're interested in this planner, like I said, there's many different pages. But if you are interested in it, I will put a link to the video where I went over this in this video, like as a card maybe, or link it in the description box. But this planner is completely reusable. It's $16. It comes as a PDF download, and it is not dated at all. You can see there's no dates, so you can buy it once and you can just print it out every single year, what pages you need. So anyway, I tried to make it very cost effective for, you know, people just to buy once and be done with it. But if you have any questions, just ask. Thanks for watching.